All right. All right. Got a studio mode. Check that you all can hear me. Um, testes. Yeah, cool. You guys can hear me. We're good. Uh, yeah, yeah. I think that's pretty much what we're doing. So let me see here. Gotta do this real quick. Okay. Hey, Black Knife, what's going on, man? I haven't seen you in a long time. A while. I've only recently started streaming up a little bit again, but I hope things have been going well. Just looking around, making sure everything is kosher. Make sure we're Gucci. I think we're good, right? Yeah. Okay. Let's see here. So, first of all, let's go ahead and change my GM thing so that it's I don't want to see that like at all. I want to be able to look at the individual layers. Yeah, what you been gotten going on? Oh, I gotta get my water bottle. One second. A bit of caffeine headache, so I want to drink some water. Uh-huh. Brr, 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 brr. Um, yeah, what's been going on as far as busy life goes? We talking work? We talking you had like 3 kids? Some crazy like that? Just work? Absolutely. You still working at that factory you were working at, or did you change jobs? Sorry, I didn't mean to have the squeaky just absolutely ruin your ear if that just did. I hope not. Um, so we are working on an interesting thing. We're working on a flying whale that elves utilize as a battleship, specifically the sea elves, because it's both an aquatic and air-based creature. So it's going to be an interesting mix um, of a few different aspects, but primarily this whole fight that I'm going to be setting up here is going to be taking place in the sky. So I'm going to focus more so make sure that I make sure that's all fleshed out and feasible before worrying about the way things would work underwater. Um, because I feel like the way that this would work underwater is, I mean, the sea elves can breathe water, but it wouldn't necessarily be a good idea to just have a big blocky wooden box on the back of something that's swimming around rapidly or at any kind of quick pace, unless it was just on the top. But I figure this thing can dive, so I imagine they probably have some kind of bubble that they would utilize whenever they go underwater. Change jobs, absolutely. As long as you're still working somewhere that's comfortable enough and makes you good money, worthwhile. That's for sure. And yeah, like I said, don't ever feel like you got to be loyal to a company. If you want to change jobs, change jobs. Don't even hesitate. Because I guarantee you, they won't be loyal to you. That's what. That's just business. Unfortunately. Let's see. Oh, GM layer. So GM info layer. I guess I gotta make it brighter. We have the roof, we have the top deck. I want to see what happens if I put this on the token layer. And this, if I put this on the token layer. See, that's what I was worried about, is I didn't want all those small objects. Because this needs to be moved to the front. Oh, shit. And then we'll just GM layer that actually quick. And then this can get moved to the front. And then whenever I think, if this comes back out, that's what I want. That's what I want right there. Because this is like the top deck, right? And then if I wanted to show the bottom deck, what I would do is I would select that part of the deck, go to the GM layer, and then that would reveal to the players this interior deck that's down here. So I've already got the interior deck kind of set up. Um, it's got all these arrow holes in the sides, but I was gonna have the elves just actually fire arrows out of that because I didn't think that they were gonna have a whole lot of like siege equipment on the interior of the ship. I more so think that a lot of the siege equipment is going to be um, on the top layer. So this layer, this is where I want to put. I want to put like a Scorpio on both sides, which are like the big aerial launching. They can launch pots of oil or large stones and stuff, um, and things like that. But I'm also gonna have to add a lot of personnel. So I think I'm gonna finish out the terrain by putting the siege equipment on. Um, oh, hold on. Maybe I have to. That's right. He called it a heavy ballista, even though that's not actually what it's called. Yeah, this is a great ballista, but in reality, that's a Scorpio. Whoops. Eh? I don't know what happened, but wait, wait. Ah, that's what happened. It was really tiny. Let's move this. It looks a little bit off. I feel like it's supposed to be slightly wider. And then I think I wanted to make it to where I wanted it to look like it's on like some kind of high level tech ship. Yeah, what kind of stuff are you doing at the factory? Definitely want to know about that. Is it like, because I work in like a really basic ass like cup factory. It's boring as shit, but a lot of the times the machines themselves are pretty interesting. Table. So I want to basically put this thing on a rotating platform, or what looks like a rotating platform. So I'm gonna get this. Put this down. Hold on, this should be on the token layer. Object tokens. And then this. Whoops. GM. This is gonna be on the token layer. I want this to move to front. So now this sits on this platform here, and it looks like it swivels. Right? Can I select the table? Yeah, I can. So I'm gonna hold that, click that, and group. No, that's not what I didn't. I hate when it does that. Okay, cool. But we also, come on, need that to be attached to this enhanced group. So now, if I tap it, I think if I go layer, GM layer, yep, all three of those pieces will go to the GM layer. That's what I want. That's what I want. Okay. Yeah. Layer, token layer. Hell yeah. That's good shit. And then we're literally just gonna do the exact same thing on the other side. So little table. We'll angle a little bit so it just doesn't look quite as similar. There we go. There we go. And then fucking drop this motherfucker on there. No. The ballista. This needs to be slightly bigger. There we go. Then we'll rotate this, y'all. I want to select the ballista. What about the... Can I select the table? No? Oh, nice. Is it like heated glass type make the jars? Because that sounds just like it could actually be kind of interesting and a little bit dangerous. Uh, click that. We're going to group. Actually, click this. Shift click, advanced, group, and then bam, bam. There we go. And then I think now, if I am correct, if I GM layer this, yep, they all go to the GM layer. Hell yes. Are you working on the machines themselves, or are you more so doing like, what's this? Pretty good music for a giant flying whale, I think. All right. Let's see. What else would be up here? Maybe some smaller ballista. Some just like side mounted ballista. These are a little bit going to be a little bit less intimidating, but and also like they're gonna have less range to them, less rotation compared to those like aerial launching ones. How many should I put? 3? I think 3 would be reasonable. 3 on each side. So my players have recently acquired or tamed wyverns, 3 wyverns to be specific. Um, of different elemental varieties, and so I kind of want them to have a fun little like let's have some fun on our new dragons type mission, which is why I'm doing this. Um, because to be honest, this is about to be sweet. The whole idea being the elves. So that the world that I'm running, the elves have taken it upon themselves to keep the world at a certain level of technology. Because if it goes past a certain point of magical exploration or technological exploration, it draws the attention of outside forces that they would rather not tangle with. So, what they've been doing is utilizing these ancient tablets to summon great elemental apocalypses um, in order to quell the population should they get too advanced. So, also, thank you for the follow, Nature. I really appreciate that. Um, and so what they're doing is they're basically right now they're trying to acquire the tablets again because every time they use the tablets they get resealed until like thousands of years later when they're actually needed again. That way they can't be exploited and used for like personal gain. So the elves are currently looking for the tablets again in kind of a race against a human empire which the players are a part of. Um because the humans want to like their party wants to save the world. They don't really want the world to get destroyed, while the elves see themselves as saviors of the world. So they're sending out this massive behemoth whale of like part of their naval fleet that can fly. It's pretty crazy, but um to kill the party. I mean, the party is now famed. The party has done tons of things to subvert the Elven plan. They've united the Orc clans into a war front. It's getting pretty crazy, pretty hectic, and so the elves don't like them. So they're straight up about to throw hands. Let's move all of these to the token layer real quick, and then I want to click, 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 click and click. Group those together. All right, so they got the ballista. I think next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna make the crew members. So let's do Sea Elf Sailor. Character. And Sea Elf Marine. Which will be more of like a heavier fighter who's more of like a drop troop that they utilize. Now the sailor is going to use, we got to look at the stance. What kind of stance we got? Because I'd like to just use a pre-made stat block if possible. Here's races. Kind of the work is getting slow. I'm thinking about changing jobs. Yeah, I mean, if you find a job that pays, like, if you change jobs, I would say try to find one that pays better, though. Are there no monster elves? Hmm. You know what? Here's what we'll do. Drow have similar stats to most elves. We'll use a drow, and then we'll modify the drow. Ooh, whoops. Get an NPC. Use drow stats. So drow is only a CR 1/4. These guys are a bit tougher than that. A bit tougher than that. Let's go ahead and double their hit dice. 68, right? Which is going to be like what? What's the average of a 68, really? I mean, 26. We'll give him 26 HP. You know, give him a little bit, a little bit. I think the chain shirt's fine. We don't really need to mess with that. We're going to call this a Sea Elf. Let's go ahead and look up Sea Elven Steadies. What do they get? Sea Elf. Used to see disguise, blah, blah, blah. That's not what I want. That's not. Yeah, there we go. The Sea Elf. Okay, they have a little bit of a higher con score. So let's. Less charisma, more con. Right? Less charisma, more con. Which means they have an extra 6 health, so it's at 32. Bam. Sea Elf training. You have proficiency with the spear, the trident, and the light crossbow and net. All right. Well, let's see what they got. They have hand crossbow. Let's just delete these. This isn't Sea Elf style. Sea Elf style is going to be trident. We're going to give them trident. We're going to give them net. No. We're going to give the sailors. We're going to give the sailors spears and light crossbows. Yeah? And then we're going to give the Marines the tridents and the nets. That's spells. Items. Light crossbow. There we go. Sunlight sensitivity? Nope, they don't have that. They do have a swim speed. Where's their speeds at? Speed. Swim. 30 feet. Sea Elf. Okay. You have a swimming speed of 30 feet. Yeah, you can breathe water. Yeah. Using gestures and sounds, you can communicate simple ideas with any beast. Oh. Pretty cool. Any aquatic beast. So let's go ahead and add that. Boop. And bam. Friend of the Sea. Innate spellcasting. Do they have innate spellcastings? I don't think they do. You can speak, read, and write Aquan. Nope, they don't. No innate spellcasting, but they do have Fey ancestry because they're elves. So let's go ahead and get. Oh wait, we can just remove spellcasting NPC, I think, right? Yeah, not a spellcasting NPC. It's 32 health, 15. What's their attacks? +0. Excuse me. It should be at least +3. We'll do 4 because proficiency of +2, and then the 2 for their dex. They're not insanely accurate. I don't know, maybe I should increase their dex a little bit. These guys are, well, there's gonna be a lot of them. These guys are more of like this is a flak type enemy. This isn't a, these guys aren't tough. They're not supposed to be super crazy. So that's a Sea Elf Sailor. Now let's do Sea Elf Marine, who we will use. Yet again, we're gonna do the whole drought. Wait, what's that? Yeah, no, we're gonna use the drow stat block thing, and then we're gonna adjust it like we did. But maybe we should use a drow elite warrior for this. What CR is a drow elite warrior? Is this guy crazy? 2 or 5? He's not that crazy. Not that crazy. We can adjust him if needed. All right, what you got? +7 to hit with the short sword and the hand crossbows. All right, he doesn't have spell casting, so without the spell casting, that already drops his CR. You know, like immediately, easy. No spell casting. His stealth is definitely not +10. I mean, come on. I'll give him a +5, but he's in perception. Now we know that these boys have higher con, so let's do 16 con. Let's drop the dex a little bit. Do 16 dex. Move a little bit of the dex to the con, making him a little bit tougher. But I don't know if I want 11 hit die. Let's do 9. Do 9. Oh yeah, let me know if the sound alerts are working. Snoop Dogg. It's been a while since I tested them. Uh, 33 plus 22 is what, 55? But he would have 9 more than that, so 64. Okay, 64. Not too bad. Still pretty reasonable. And I'm gonna have more than one of these guys fighting them, so I didn't want to make it too insane. Let's see. They've got +7 to their melee attacks and stuff, which I think is because it's dex based, so it's only gonna be a +6. Give them tridents. Oh, I didn't know you could throw tridents. They're only a D6? I guess. I feel like that should be a D8. Or like 2D4. Honestly, I'm gonna make that 2D4. The fuck? And then if you're two-handing a trident, that shit gonna be 2D6. Because it should be the same as like a fucking great weapon. Because like tridents are heavy. Like, I mean, this is not some little baby weapon. Like, this is a weapon. I get that it's versatile, so maybe that's a little bit much. That's a little bit much. Actually, yeah, let's do 1D8, 2D4. Fuck it. Might have the same maximum, but it's got a higher, minimum. Let's see. And then I wanted to give them net. Which is going to be based on their dex to hit +6. And for these guys, also going to be based on.
Watch your profanity.
Did that sound alert go off? I really can't tell. I don't have it monitored, I guess. Hold on, let me. Oops. Hmm. Mm-hmm. Settings. Audio. But where's my monitor? Oh, monitoring device. It says it's on the right one. So maybe it's not playing them. Hmm.
Watch your profanity.
Well, actually, it says the sound alert is going off. Black Knife, are you healing? Are you hearing that whenever I play that? Because it doesn't play it for me. Anyway, they're not sunlight sensitive, and they don't spellcast. I think parry's probably a reasonable thing to let him have. I'll let him have parry. Net thrown still gonna be dex. It's a +7. But yeah, it doesn't do any damage. Oh no, +6, +6, because their dex wasn't that high. +6. Da-da, trident, trident. Yeah, yeah. Honestly, that's he doesn't really need to be more complicated than that. You know? Oh, hold on. His armor is a studded leather and a shield. Nah, that's gonna be a breastplate and hmm, and shield. Nah. How about no shield? I don't think they have a shield. I think these guys are gonna be the 16 AC, I believe, because if I'm not incorrect, that is the AC of a breastplate. 14. Maybe I'm thinking half plate. Items. Yeah, half plate. 15. Okay. Well, 15 it is. And then they have parry, so if they really need to protect themselves, they can. But I'll drop him with the 15. It's whatever. Okay. This means he's pretty much good to go. Does CR4 feel right for somebody like this? He needs multi attack. Whatever. We'll just add multi attack. No, not an attack. The elf may make 2 attacks with its trident, with the net, and 1 with trident. Whatever, close enough. As long as I get the gist, it's fine. Sea Elf Marine is done. However, do I have any Sea Elf tokens? Premium assets, subscription set? No, yeah, subscription sets maybe. No. Marketplace purchases. Marketplace purchases. Um, Tasha's Cauldron of Everything. Hmm. And there's elves, but I'm not sure if any of these are aquatic elves. Mm-hmm. 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 Yep. Yo. Yo. Actually, that might be like a good token to use for a character in my other game. Hmm. Anyway, let's see. Wasn't in there. Dinosaur's Guide? Mm-hmm. 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 Where are the sea elves? Hmm. Maybe can I download this? Save image as. Hey, I have an idea. What up? Bam, sea elf. And then we're just gonna go to my handy dandy token stamp. Bam. I love this site. It's a good site. Bam. Yeah, there we go. And then the thing is like they have the fire in their hand, so it's like I didn't really make any of them magic like maybe I just make the image bigger and I can crop it out by so what? I want like just the elf, basically. Yeah, that whatever. That's close enough. And then and so the marine would be the second one, yeah. And then hmm, there we go. You know what? I should probably do. I should probably do this. Advanced or what is it? Can I lock? Yeah, lock position. Group locking. Locking slash unlocking multiple tokens is not supported at this time. No. Okay, fine. I just gotta be really careful then. Is that just yeah, there we go. It's weird that I can't see the grid on this the front token here. What's that about? Anyway. Um Sylph Marine, you represent Sea Elf Maran. And how much health does Sea Elf's what you got? 64. And the AC was 15. Yeah. Save that. Gonna make this a token now. You just fucking. God damn it. Let me click the token, you son of a bitch. There we go. No. I want you to use that one. Yes. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Perfect. And then the sailor, pretty much the exact same shit. Except we do with token 1 instead of token number 2. Now, we obviously need more than just sailors and maroons. So, let me think here. Fucking, we need like, there's a few things I could do. I could have one of their previous villains show up as the person who's utilizing this ship in an assault to take them down, or I could introduce a new character who's like the admiral of the Elven fleets. I feel like I would rather do that because I don't. I mean, a lot of the other villains, I feel like they need to be more chaste, if that makes sense. Like I don't necessarily just want the party to just like get the opportunity to just wreck one of their villains just because the villain got cocky or something. You know, I'd rather them like really like go after them. Yeah, basically, like the person who's like yeah, an admiral, like leader of the navy type, more of a military official for the elves rather than like some kind of because they've only really met like mystical type elves and you know I mean that's yeah more like mystical type elves and like rangers, you know, druidy types. They've not really encountered like somebody who represents like the lawful side of the elven race, like the more rigid, disciplined, um militaristic style group of them. So I feel like it'd be better to introduce a new kind of like sub villain, like not like a BBEG necessarily, but more so just another enemy NPC. Okay, so Sea Elf, Sailor. Uh, oh, no, not that token. That's for sure. Edit. You select a token. So now I should be able to. Hmm, okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move this to the GM layer. I had to think about this for a second. Make the GM layer completely like this, and then I'm going to fill the underside first with people, right? So first of all, we're going to have some Marines who are just kind of like general guard. You know, they're not necessarily doing crew member stuff. Now, the sailors are going to be the ones who are kind of utilizing these portholes with their crossbows. So 4 on each side would be good. I've not seen One Piece. I've heard a lot about it, but I've not watched any of it. It's really just the animation style that gets me. Ooh, actually, there's a bit more arrow slits than I thought. Hmm. I'm wondering if I got too much health here, right? My NP, my boys are strong, strong. But this is still a lot of deuter. I mean, that's a lot of meat to cleave through if it's 32 health on each one of these. I don't think I want to put one in every single arrow slot. I think what I would rather do is have a couple be a little bit more mobile and they run between arrow slots if they need to, right? More so like supply runners, and then in desperation, they also will shoot out the windows. But I'm thinking fewer Marines, like not a whole lot of Marines on the ship. And the Marines are probably going to be the ones who run the top side stuff, things like the siege and stuff like that, because they don't have crossbows, so they're going to be more focused on running that things. and then um we're only gonna have like, yeah, we'll have like 2 guard down here with the sailors. And then we can go GM layer, bring this back out, layer, token layer. But because we don't want these guys obviously to show up on the top deck, we're going to select that again, group, advanced, or no, to front. So that moves to the front. And then we're going to send it to the GM layer again so that we can make this roof to the front so that it's actually the front piece. And then if I'm correct, yeah, so now you have all of those elves, but they're actually under that top level. Yeah, a lot of people tell me I would like One Piece just because the plot is like really funny and interesting. Like they go pretty wild with it, but I got to get over the animation of it. Now on the top side we have the maroons. So let's see. Where's my elves? Elves. Nope. Elves are gonna go up here to the top so that I can easily put these boys in here. Now, what I also am thinking is I got these drums in the back of the um uh-oh. Hold on. We have a problem. Let's go ahead and ungroup. This to the front. And then, excuse me, can I have my cursor, please? Thank you. We are missing. All right, advanced. Or fucking, yeah, well, layer, GM layer. Yeah, you need to be at actually the front. Oops. No! That's not what I wanted to do at all. I fucked up. What are you doing? Oh, I see. Advanced layer, GM layer. Now I gotta go back through all this and like to front, to front, to front, to the front. And then all the ballistas to front. To the front. To the front. Damn. One minor mistake. Yeah, not being able to move things as a group between layers is lame. Or not lame, but from the front to the back is lame. And not be able to lock them in place is also lame. And then this needs to be to the front. And I think if I'm lucky, the good news is whenever we actually play on this, it's not likely I'm going to have to switch back and forth between these 2 layers very much. It's more than likely they're going to siege the top deck, go under the deck, and then fight people down there. Yeah. Or who knows? Maybe they're going to get crazy and just kill the whale and just let this thing crash. I don't know. But what I was saying about the drums, I'm thinking, right? I'm thinking, what if I give the ship a bard, right? Like, person who plays the drums in the back would probably be like musically apt and magical. So why not? No, I want to. You know what I'm saying? Get a little drummer boy back here. So, hmm, are there any enemy NPC bards? Hey, there are, and he looks kind of like an elf. Perfect. We're gonna rename him. Where is he? Thank you. He's not gonna just be a bard, obviously. This boy is an elven drummer. That's right. Elven drummer. I know he's got a lute, but it doesn't matter. The boy plays the drums as well. Um, let's see. He's a fourth level spellcaster. What's he got? Thunderwave, Sleep, Heroism, Healing Word, Charm Person, Invisibility, and Shatter. What level spellcaster is he? 4? Let's do 5. Which means he's got 2 third level slots. Let's look up some bard spells. Rules. Blah, blah. Bard spells by level. Yay. Because I know Bard's got some cool third level spells. Right? Oh gosh. Because it's in dark mode, I can't read anything. I'll just do this. Cantrips, 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 cantrips. Sorry, avert your eyes if you're watching this. Scrolling is going to make your head dizzy. Avert your eyes. Okay. Um. Shit. Come on. How many level 3 spells do you got? All right. Here we go. Wow, they've got a lot. So they got Wind Wall, Water Walk, Water Breathing, Wall of Water. Ooh, Wall of Water's going to have to go on that list. That's for sure. Mm-hmm. Oh, damn it. Hold on, I've got to scroll back down. Oh my gosh, they have so many spells. Why are bards so casty? Ugh. They can do everything. No, for real. Like, bards are fucking strong. This is dumb. What the fudgeums? Like, they got some serious. They can animate dead? What? Okay. Sure, I guess. Let's see what they got. Call lightning. Call lightning would be good. Call lightning and counterspell. That's what they're gonna get. Yep. Call lightning. Counterspell. Yep. And that is a bard. Okay, let's see. Song of Rest. Taunt. Their charisma needs to be higher. Give them the 18. Give them that spicy charisma. They have the wisdom saving throw, but not charisma saving throw? Okay. Interesting. Acrobatics, perception, performance. Yeah. No, yeah, no worries, Black Knife. I appreciate you stopping by. Yeah, definitely go get some grub. Let's see. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Should be a higher challenge rating though. Put him at a 4. And then let's increase his fucking hit die by another 2d8. Right? So fuck it. Let's just give him 56 health. Still within range. Um Actually that feels really low. 10d8 plus 8? I feel like it should be like 60. Let's just give him a flat 60. Alright. Chain shirt, 60. Bard boy. Because he doesn't have to be too crazy. It's just going to be a unique little enemy in the back of the ship that they're going to deal with. So, excuse me. So he doesn't have to be insane. Ow. Okay. We've got that. We've got the undercarriage pretty much mapped out. Let's do, I guess, the top. Objects, tokens, bow, Sea Elf Marines. So we're just going to have one on each ballista. Oops. Let's make sure I don't actually have a ballista token. Nope. Just gotta make sure. One there, and one there. The reason I don't feel too bad about having all of this like these big beefy boys on the top deck is because, like I said, they have wyverns. Wyverns have breath attacks. It's 6v all these boys, you know, and they are extremely powerful as a group. So they'll be all right. I promise. It'll be okay. Now, there's a few other things I want to do here, though. Yeah. I want to create the Admiral. See if there's any drow that we can exploit to utilize. Or Warlord. Yeah, here we go. Fucking spicy boy. Ooh, that might be a little bit too spicy. That's a CR12. Oof. Bit too spicy. Bit too spicy. Captain? Bandit captains? Drow house captain, maybe. Ooh, here we go. Let's see. CR9. That's more in the wheelhouse. Ay. All right, let's do that. So we're going to create a new character. It's going to be Sea Elf Admiral. And then character sheet, create an NPC, Drow House Captain. All right. Whip, scimitar, hand crossbow. Let's first thing first, adjust hand crossbow. Actually, no, yeah. Hand crossbow. I think that's reasonable. Unless you should be throwing daggers. I'll keep hand crossbow. They're not sunlight sensitive, and spell casting. They don't have the innate spell casting though. Would the Admiral be a spellcasting NPC? Okay, so they've got poison on their attacks, and I don't think that matches up with the CL flavor I'm going with. I'm gonna have to adjust that. The battle command works totally fine, but I do think some spell casting would be reasonable. But I don't know what. Fairy Fire is good. Dancing Lights is good. Darkness doesn't make any sense. Levitate seems reasonable. Hmm. Yeah, that all seems fine. Uh, we have parry. Hold on, let's adjust this. Oh, whoops. I didn't mean to do that. Hold on. Rules, spells, subclasses, feats, items, lore. They blah 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 blah. Can I not get Fey ancestry? Damn. All right, whatever. I'll just have to remember it. I'll just add it. Hey, such advantage on charm saving throws and cannot be put to sleep. So it wouldn't be poison. What would it be? What kind of special things does the admiral of a giant flying whale have? How about a harpoon gun? Yeah, screw a hand crossbow. Harpoon gun. Harpoon launcher. It's more of a string thing. And this will do a D8. It has. That's a pretty reasonable range for it to hit. Must succeed on a DC 13 strength saving throw or be pulled 15 feet towards the admiral every turn. Oh, hold on. Toward the admiral at the beginning of the admiral's turn. Okay. They got the whip. They got the scimitar. They got a harpoon launcher. But I don't think the scimitar would have poison. I think the scimitar would be a scimitar plus 2. And so what it's going to do is it's 1d6 plus 6. Would it have anything special about it? How about a vicious scimitar, actually? Let's just get rid of this and just give him a vicious one. Oops. There we go. And then the to hit would be plus 7. And then I'll make it a plus 1 weapon. So it's plus 8. So real accurate with that scimitar. All right. Now for the picture. Hmm. Do we have any pirate elves? Like, nah, that doesn't really work. Hmm. I feel like I saw an elf that might work for this earlier in this section. No. Yeah, that'll do. Boop, boop, ba-doop. Oh, my stomach. 162 health, which is a lot, but that's okay. Bam! Sea Elf Admiral, right there. Booey! That easy. Put the Elven Drummer and the Sea Elf Admiral away. Where would he be standing on his ship? Hmm. Probably below deck, actually. Now that I think about it. Hmm. I'm gonna put him here and just say that you can see him from the outside, although he is actually below deck. Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense, I think. Okay. Now let's see. Honestly, I think that's pretty much done. I think the only thing I want to add is some decoration to the the whale itself, really. Let me see if I have my magic Rooney symbols in my assets. Magic. That's not quite what I'm looking for. Ooh, there we go. That's what I'm looking for. Yeah. Okay. We've got some options here, but I'm thinking this is the set I want to use. A couple of those. What would I need? Because there is another set I could use, but I don't think it feels as aquatic and good. So let's go ahead and minimize or shrink this down a little bit. Oh no 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 no. Hmm. A little bit of that action. Yeah. Okay. And then ah, it looks scuffed. Hold on. Maybe what I need to do is let it sit. No, it needs to sit within the black lines, I think, because then it'll look more. And then advanced flip vertical. No. Yeah, like that. Hmm. And then let's make them real small. And on the back or on the sides here, we'll do like okay, I see why there's multiples of these. So we got the one, we got the two, we got three. Bring that down to size. This out the way. Oh, that's interesting. Whoa, wait, what? What the fuck? Well, that's interesting and wonky. Yeah, you know what? How about we don't do the tail like that and we do hmm, some of these. Uh, yeah, I don't know. I don't know that we need to do more than that. I think these still look really weird. I don't like those. Let's do these. Or like it's just like painted on, you know? Okay. And now I need to see if I can do something. Can I select all of you? Hmm. Well, that's not what I wanted. Shit. Okay. Well, I guess what we'll do is ah fudge. How do I get the whale? In the that on the map layer? Yeah, that's right. That's why. No, that's gonna be lock position. Yeah, I don't care. It's not what I'm trying to get at. Leave me alone. I don't care. It's not what I'm. I don't want that. I want the whale. Mm, Oh, I want the thing under you. Damn it. Okay, and then this. No, damn it. All right, to front then, because you are a piece of shit who won't cooperate. And then this should be right there. We go to objects and tokens. We select this whole mess. Let's hope this doesn't completely fuck us. It did. Absolutely. Okay, I think that is what we wanted. Now all we have to do is go to the map, move these back to the token layer. Sorry, I know this is really tedious. I didn't do this in the smartest way possible, but it's okay. I'll have to figure out a way to do it easier when I do it next part. Um, then this big piece needs to go GM layer, which will let me go also GM layer. Make these guys on the token layer. I should have actually put these guys on the GM layer. Because now these guys are going to show up on the top deck, and I don't want that. So we'll just put these guys all GM layer so that whenever I go to the GM layer... Oh, whoops. Not him, though. Then I can just mass select them all. Move them all at once. All right. This needs to go to the map layer. That needs to go to the map layer. And that is our boy. There's one more spot we have to go with him. I just want to see what happens if I do this. I might be fucking myself pretty hard here. Okay, so let's just go ahead and send the shark to the GM layer for now. Delete all of the desert terrain. Move the shark back. Actually, nope. Hold on. GM and info layer. Move the shark back to the map layer. Huh? And he's way too far forward. Hmm. Oh, let's just undo that mistake. Let's move the clouds out of the way. Down here. Nope. Nope. Step it. I said move the clouds out of the way. Swear to God, shark. Don't fuck off. Dim shit's out the way. You go back to the where you're supposed to be. Alright, that is not what I meant to grab. Heathen. Alright. So that I can mass select all this and scoot you back. There we go. There we go. Yeah. Yeah. And then I can select the shark again. I can GM layer him. Then I should be able to move this back into place. All right. That's a floating whale castle. Ah, where's one of my ballisti? I lost one of them. So if I grab this and excuse me. I grab this and I put this in the GM layer, what happens? That's what I want to happen. Now I can go to this. No, I'll go to this one. Because the only thing on the token layer in the Desert Sky Chase was the tokens I need. All right. Ugh. What else? What else? What else? I think that's pretty much good. This whole thing is pretty much, it's just like it's set up to be nasty. So, um, what we'll look up next. No, not the monsters. Is there like siege weapons? Oh, that's right, because I don't have the DMG on Roll20. Anyway, IBC weapons. I'll just Google it. What up? Ballista cannon. I think the mangonel is the one I'm talking about. No, that's the one that shoots all the shoots arrows. Um, maybe it is the mangonel. Yeah, the mangonel typically hurls a heavy stone, although it can hurl other kinds of projectiles. Okay, so yeah, it is a mangonel that I'm thinking. Um, so let's see if they have mangonel stats. Mang no, but we'll be able to utilize that wiki, so I'm not too worried about it. It'll be really easy. Oh, let's think. What else we got? What else we got? So I got a really cool boss fight coming up. I'm really excited about it. Let's go ahead and move anything that's relevant to the next session up here. Sky Chase 2, and then Sky Chase High as they try to escape into the atmosphere. Now, where the fuck is my fucking boss fight? A circle encounter. This one. This is the one I'm excited about. So, let me show it to you. What we got here, right, is a big old tree in the middle of a forest. A lot of will-o-wisps, wispy boys. They're like providing ambient light and things like that. Um, that's just Ted. I was using Ted to test uh lighting effects. Now, ooh, my foot just cramped. Hold on. The thing about this is fun is I'm using this to trap the paladin in the party. Hopefully, now my goal is to utilize my centaurs to kind of cut off the ranger and the barbarian a little bit while I have like a one-on-one face down with the paladin. Now that might not happen, and if it doesn't happen, that's okay. I'm not too worried about it. However, what's going to be fun is once whoever steps into this here middle circle, right? Once they step into the circle, these uh oops. This, right? This big cluster of uh magic is going to spark up, right? And so what that's gonna kind of look like is like in character. I guess. Hold on, I gotta adjust those. I gotta change these. That's a bit too dramatic on those. I just wanted the lightning. I didn't want them to be so hexagonal. They look really ridiculous in that way. So let's go to dynamic lighting. Or no, not dynamic lighting. Objects tokens? Map background? No, it must be objects and tokens that I did it, right? No, layer. Let's go move that back to the GM layer. We'll adjust it there. GM layer. Let's ungroup this for the moment. Yeah, these things have got really weird lighting on them. I think I'm gonna have no light from them. Maybe no. But let's do light. Let's just make it not directional. Uh-huh. Yeah, because I feel like the directional thing is making it Kind of funky. Yeah, and then we can reselect all of them. Groups. So that when I move them, it can go like that. Yeah. But does that still illuminate or yeah? Looks like they are. Or is that just because Ted's illuminating things? Oh shit, that's just because Ted's illuminating things. But you know, like here, let's just put some wispies. Hey, how's it going? Uh, hope you're doing well. I'm trying to finagle dynamic lighting to not be horrible. It's kind of working. Preparing boss fights. Do I have what's her name? Huh. Hold on now. I know she's in here. Villains? Oh, that's right. That's her name. Whoops. Yeah, this is supposed to be the big bad for my paladin right now. This is kind of his arch nemesis currently. And so they're gonna be duking it out in his Seer Forest. Um this being like a knight of the kind of like a betrayer to the human race. This is a human knight who works for the elves. Um he's kind of like sworn loyalty to the forest and protecting like nature and all that. And it's kind of turned their back on civilization. And so it's kind of a very anti the feel of my party's paladin. So I'm kind of excited for them to finally duke it out. But I'm hoping I can get my paladin to go into this circle first. Like I want him to be the one to confront her. But we'll have to see because I've got the other two, and the barbarian is fast, like really fast. So the barbarian tends to get into melee faster. But my idea is maybe I can distract my barbarian with the centaurs, right? Who are going to kind of like utilize the big loopy nature of this thing, kind of circle this big force field and utilize charge attacks on the PCs, kind of forcing the PCs to move. Yes, no. Yes, yes, no, yes. Yes, no. Yes. No, yes, yes, no. The elves are bad, but they're also not bad, but they're also really bad, but they're also not really all that bad, but they're really bad too. So, basically, the way the elves are set up in this world right now is there's four courts revolving around the seasons. You have the summer court, winter court, autumn court, and spring court, which are ruled by Eladrin figures. Although all the other elven races have kind of fallen into that sort of allegiance as well. The reason being for this is the elves kind of have come together, and anytime the what they consider the lower races or the more mortal races um get too advanced in either magic or technology, they utilize the power of these ancient tablets to summon a big elemental apocalypse and kind of squash down whatever populace there is, um, because there's far greater threats. So it's like there's the kind of thing where the elves are like they're not really a part of like the other societies of the world. This is probably the only campaign I've ever made it to where like people can't play an elf for the well, they couldn't play an elf at the beginning of the campaign. At this point, they'd probably be able to because there's already been elven defectors, if that makes sense. Because some of the elves don't agree with the way that they're running things. Some of the elves are like, "This is kind of ridiculous. We're just killing things in a mass scale. We should be just defending our planet." But the reason the elves crush everything is because they don't want to draw attention from like extreme existential entities. Because the players don't know it yet, but this is actually a spelljammer setting. It's just currently only a high fantasy setting because the elves have been keeping their sphere medieval. They've been intentionally not allowing people to get to spelljammer level technologies, even though the planet has already been exposed to spelljammer conflicts. So, for example, the dungeon my players just went through is actually a big spelljammer ship. So this is like this massive technological marvel that the conglomerate of like United Races have made. However, it's been crash landed on this planet for like thousands of years. And so my players got to run around this like 2,000 year old spaceship and muck about in it and stuff like that. It's pretty cool. But right now, they're heading back to their city. They're trying to figure out uniting their armies to fight off the elves so that they can get these tablets before the elves get the tablets. Do you mean system or do you mean um virtual tabletop? I'm using Roll20 for the virtual tabletop, but I'm using 5th edition for the rule set because I like 5th edition because it's flexible. You know, I could definitely do this in like a 3.5, or a 3 pretty easily, but it's just so crunchy that it makes my prep time like 3 times as long, which is why I've liked 5e. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm using 5th edition. I'm using Roll20 for the virtual tabletop, but I'm using 5th edition for for the game because I like how flexible 5th edition is. 3.5 was just a lot more prep time because of how crunchy it can be. So it would take me like 3 times the amount of time to prep a session in 3.5 compared to 5th edition, which is why I use it. Hold on, I gotta pop my back. Oh, but yeah, I see. So the elves are like good guys, but also not. Like there's a lot of conflict in the elven court. So like I have the elven courts like with really distinct personalities, and the different subraces of elves fall in them. So for example, the summer court is like the high elven court. And while they have the summer eladrin as their leaders, they're still like very high elven, very like lawful and rigid. And then you have the winter court who are the drow, who still are very drow like, shady, subversive, um not quite as evil, but still kind of evil. But in general, they hold more of like somber tones. They're a lot more serious and dark about their outlook on things. The Spring Eladrin, or not the Spring Elven court is it's full of the wood elves, the nature lovers, the people who really really like cherish life and stuff like that. Um, and then the Autumn court. Who was the Autumn court? If I'm not wrong, I think the Autumn court is the Sea Elves, which might sound strange, but it's because the autumn represents storms in the way that this has been working. Spring represents like earth and life and the bringing of nutrients and things like that, while autumn represents like the raging tempest, the sky, things of that nature. And so the sea elves kind of really fit that for me, and the way that I felt, which is what I was just recently making. Um, I don't know if you were here for the beginning of this, but I'm actually creating uh this one. So this is an elven leviathan, right? Basically, it's a huge whale shark, right? That has been magically enhanced by the sea elves to be able to fly. Pretty obnoxious, but also kind of cool. I mean, like it's kind of cool, right? And so, yeah, this boy thick, yeah, thick boy. And so they've got like a bunch of like ballista and stuff loaded on the top, and then for this I've got like this whole other um I've got another layer like underneath it. Uh-oh. Where did my Oh, that's supposed to be like the map layer. Wait a second. Something got all messed up. Hold on. Okay, you can go to the map layer, but no, no, no. I see what I need to do. I see what I need to do. Go to the map layer. I'll put this on GM layer, and then I'll go here because this is still. Is this the map or is this objects? Objects. I guess it's on the map. Oh, that's right. I grouped them together. I need to ungroup. Whoops. That's not what I'm trying to grab. Why can't I grab? Oh. Oh, that's what's confusing. I have this turned all the way up when it needs to be like that. Whoops. Which means that just need to go to the map layer, and this needs to go to the map layer. Okay, that's what's happening. I had it on the GM layer, but my GM layer opacity was all the way up, so it just put it on top of everything. So that's why. We're good. We're good. And so this would just go to the front. You should be in the map layer. Map layer. Map layer. No. Barrels. That's fine. Barrels just stay out. I don't give a shit. Map layer. Map layer. GM layer. Map layer. And then I need to make sure that. Oh, whoop. I can leave those. That's fine. Yeah, and then this would be like the bottom deck. Okay, cool. I fixed it. I got it. Damn. I thought I'd ruined the whole thing for a second, but it was just me being foolish. There we go. Although layer, GM layer, this should be to front. And then we're actually all done. Yeah. See? Because hopefully, I mean, what's nice about this is once I actually start like utilizing this in the battle map, I'm not gonna have to go back and forth between the top and the bottom. I'm gonna be able to like once the players go down into the bottom of the ship, they're probably not going to be going back up and top like more than maybe once or twice. So I shouldn't have too many issues. And then this is on a few different maps, and it should still be good because I set it up on the individual maps fairly well. Yeah. All right. So they're going back. They're going to be fighting a little whale boss. Um, they're going to get back to the city. Where's my city? Back to the city. What's all this? Don't remember what that's about. Let's see. Okay, okay. I mean, that's all pretty normal. I'm thinking Because the last time the characters were here, they were like defending the place from a siege. I don't really even need to use this map unless there's some kind of action. Hey, thanks for following, Lars. I appreciate it. But I don't think they need to like use that. They're more like right here, actually. Because they're going to be going straight back to New Roriksburg. Did I ever make Riverside? Maybe I should make Riverside. Let me see if I have any like pre-made towns that I could use. Save me the effort. Ugh. Jeez. See, there's got Mining Town. I don't think Mining Town's what I'm looking for though. I need like town center. That's not it. Mining Town. Desert Oasis Town. No. What's this? Well, no, because that's a pretty shit quality map. I'm gonna look around specifically because I'm not seeing any it like listed under town itself, but I'm assuming fuck there are towns. It's just they're named, not um not generically named. Checkpoint. Oh no, nope, nope, nope. That's not gonna work. Uh, what if I look at village? Hold on. Let's try village. I didn't try village. I only tried town. Village is something that they would name things, right? Well, that's not. No. Damn. Settlement? Town? Oh, I already tried town, didn't I? I already tried town. I already tried town. City. City gates. Sailing ship cityscape. Mm. Okay, maybe this would work actually. Let's do, yeah, because we don't need to have the whole town necessarily. What we can do is, new page, please. Thank you. Right, right, right. What we do is, well, hold on. We gotta do a couple things because I'm gonna make this a flippable token. So we gotta do a little bit extra setup on this one. Hmm. Yeah, okay, that seems reasonable. So we're just gonna cut off 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 tiles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yep. And then we add the interior, which this is where it's going to get a little weird because we're not actually going to be using it like this. What we're going to do is we're going to go to rollable tables. Get out of my way, Johanna. Fuck off. We're going to add a rollable table. We're going to call this. What was this place called? We'll just call this Riverside. Riverside Tavern. And then we're gonna add an item, and we're gonna go. Oh, I guess I didn't actually need to put it on there yet. I could have just done this. So we put this here, right? We just put interior. Yeah, they're both same. Excuse me. Save. And then we name this exterior. We put the other one in there. Now, all this really does is gives us the ability to choose sides on a token. Load damn you. All right. So if you click this and it clicks token, so let's just go ahead and delete these, right? Ah, shit. That's not what I wanted. It'll be okay. So you should be able to fit it. Layer, map layer. Choose side, and if I do this, yeah, there we go. Look at that. Now I can flip back and forth between the outside, right? Outside layer, and the inside layer. Bam. That easy. Now, of course, I probably could add like a bunch of like interiors to these housings. But should I? I mean, I don't. Maybe. So I mean, I've got all the interiors ready. It's just like, it's a lot of finagling. A lot of finagling. You know? Because not only would I have to put them down, but I'd also have to put tokens inside of them and everything. I feel like it would be easier to just theater of mind any of the houses surrounding and then do this more so be like the pinnacle focus if they're in town. Being as it, if they're in town at the Riverside Village, they're there to talk to one of the river barons. They're not there to fuck about in some villager's house unless they're like hiding. And if they're hiding, I don't necessarily need to put terrain there. Yeah, looks pretty good. NPC. Should I add NPCs to this? Yeah. What do we got? What do we got for NPCs here? What do we got? What do we have? There we go. Put one of the. Well, he'll go there, but he'll be on the gym layer. You guard. A bit more well equipped due to their bribings, because everybody knows that these bribes get guarded. These guards get bribed, not these bribes get guarded. Jeez. Few generic sailors. Excuse me. Excuse me. Thank you. Mhm. Looking for some more common looking folk. Yeah, he's got a sword. It's too much. Where are all the common folk at? Sure. Hit me with them. That way I can counter them. There we go. There's one. We can do that. It's fucking. It's a more regular looking person. These guys are too fancy. Oh, I don't mean counter spell. I mean countering, like, how to get out of it. Let's see. Although I'm sure counter spell would work, but that's more like preventing it, really. I don't think I'm gonna find any NPCs here. These all look like monsters. I just need a commoner token. Hmm. Hmm. What's it involve? I've gotta have some kind of villager token at some point. Hmm. My stomach. Let's see. Give me NPCs. Oh, my leg. How am I still not finding any of these guys? Like, I know I've got villager tokens. I know it. Have to have villager tokens. Let's just look at my other maps. Maybe I've got like a generic villager token on my. Where's the town map? Chase can't be the only one, is it? Okay, here we go. That's like a generic looking boy. Let's just pop some generic looking commoners around. Mm-hmm. There we go. Oh, my stomach. Killing me. Need to eat, but it's just been so difficult to eat. I keep getting nauseous. Yeah, basically the first one is cast the spell of fog cloud, okay, and be a moon druid, right? Wild shape as a bonus action to a giant spider, blind sight, smart. And then next round, crawl in there, sit on the ceiling, and enjoy. You have advantage and they have disadvantage, and then you can bite from a +5 attack. Yeah, okay, fair enough. That's a great low level combo too. That's a badass low level combo, actually. Damn, that's nasty. And it would be pretty hard to combo to, or pretty hard to counter depending on, because like low level creatures don't have a lot of options. It's not like I would have a wizard or a caster with some kind of AoE spell. Now, a lot of, I will say this, a lot of low level casters have gust. And gust does get rid of fog cloud. You can't really get rid of the spider on the ceiling part though. But you can get rid of fog cloud, but even then, you're still forcing them to use their spell slot to do that. So it's still an effective use of your spell, rather than them like casting like call lightning or some shit on you. You know? No, it's super good, super smart too. Definitely the way to do it, and that is using wild shape effectively. Because a lot of people don't pay attention. Because that's the thing about wild shape is like, yeah, like sure you can get the venom attack and you can get a higher to hit based on what your druid might actually have, but that blind sense, like those traits like that, like keen smell, blind sense, stuff like that is so fucking strong. Exactly. If it's a low level wizard, it's like you're likely to just kill them anyway. Although usually NPCs have more health than PCs, depending. So like I think low level goblins have like 6 health instead of, look, it's either 6 or 7. Yeah, they've got like 2d6 health. But you're still, giant spider's really likely to hit 7 damage turn, you know? Normal critters? No. Monsters wildlife. Mm. Yeah, look, right there. I rolled a 19 and I got 8 piercing damage plus 4 poison. Easy. That's fucking 12 damage if they fail their save. That's a spicy boy, you know? That's a spicy attack. So that's only rolling a 5 on the damage. It's not like I rolled super well. Gust of wind, I believe. Because gust is an attack. I don't think it does clear fog cloud. Seize the air, compel it, create one of the following effects, 1 point creature. Yeah, pushed. Last, if you're capable of moving one object. Yeah, it would have to be gust of wind, which maybe gust of wind is higher level than I thought. Oh, it's second level. Yeah, because gust, yeah, gust is just like this little like, pew, a little burst of air. It wouldn't be powerful enough to get rid of fog cloud being a cantrip. And I don't think they changed it in Eberron to do anything better. Yeah, yeah. It doesn't do anything but knock people down. Well, gust of wind only has to go off for a single round to get rid of fog cloud, so they wouldn't need to concentrate on it to keep it. Um, yes, if you have an opportunity attack against them, but they would have to be inside the fog cloud already. So you'd have to make sure you cast fog cloud on top of them. You know what I mean? That way that they don't like dip or just like avoid going inside of it, obviously. But you know, but yeah, if they cast a spell that's not a cantrip within melee, you get opportunity attacks. So I mean, like you're probably just gonna kill them with the opportunity attack. To be honest with you, you know, because even a second level wizard only has like 15 health, if that. Although, like I said, like NPCs tend to have more health, but still, it's like they're gonna get pretty wrecked. It's definitely a big area, but you just got to keep in mind like certain setups. So like let's say like you're fighting a wizard, right? And I'm gonna find my map in this area, right? You got fog cloud, which is gonna cover like a solid fucking chunk. Like let's say you cast it at a higher level, it's gonna do 60, right? That's gonna be like half the map. Yeah. At the normal level, it's just 40, but it's still a large fucking section. It's not chump change. But a lot of creatures have more than enough move speed to move in one direction to get out of it. Oh wait, hold on. Sorry. There we go. That's the size of it right now because it's 20 feet outwards and it's a 40-foot diameter. So at higher level, it would actually be like this. That's the size. So it's big, but it is escapable. You also got to make sure you have a ceiling. To be fair, it doesn't function quite as well outside. It still goes pretty well because you still have blind sense, but yeah. And you also got to keep in mind if they're outside that 10 foot, you wouldn't see them. So like while you might have this be like your area that you can play around in, if they're outside this distance from you, you wouldn't see them until you move towards them. Yeah, at ninth level, it's literally it's fucking dumb. It's like the whole existence is fogged. The whole battlefield fogged. It's just everything's fogged. Because I mean, what it's plus 20 to the so like this is level whatever like level 2, level 3, level 4. Level 4 is already this whole map. Fucking if we go to a bigger map, like level 4 is this whole area. Like that's huge. That's fucking massive. You have passive perception 10, but you can only use blind sense to 10 feet. You wouldn't be able to use your perception to perceive outside of that because it's still obscured. Level 4 is 80? I thought it was 60. So yeah, that's more like this. It's like an entire city block. What would level 9 be like? I mean, level 9 is like how many feet out? Level 4, because like this is level 5. That's level 6. Yeah, I mean, like the whole city. Like literally the whole city would end up being covered, more or less. Which is pretty ridiculous. Mm. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Sorry, my girlfriend's texting me about a bunch of drama with her neighbors. Apparently, they've been fighting a whole bunch. Oh, random ass stream open apparently. Okay. Let's see. We got Skywhale. Yeah, but passive perception 10 is not going to detect anybody with sound. I mean, I don't think fog cloud affects sound though. It's not like darken, or it's not like darkness. But that also would require them to make sound. So like if they cast like a spell maybe, but passive perception like since you don't have like keen hearing, I wouldn't really let you use hearing to pinpoint somebody's location. That's kind of what blind sense already is. So for example, if I don't know which subclass it is, but I think monk can get blind sense, and it's basically the concept of using your senses to see. So without having like special senses that are already listed, I don't really see hearing being able to like precisely pinpoint anybody other than just like a general direction that you could move towards. But yeah, listen definitely does fall under perception. Yeah, if they're casting a spell, is what I'm saying. Although there's a lot of non-verbal spells. Because I'm pretty sure there's some that are just somatic. Because yeah, somatic spells are important for that reason. Because you can cast somatic spells um while silenced. So for example, absorb elements is somatic only, right? Sorry, I realize it's hard to see. But yeah, absorb elements is only somatic. Um they're not super common, but they're definitely worth taking. A lot of people ignore them, like they ignore what kind of components something requires, which makes somatic spells really fucking powerful. Poison. I'm pretty sure absorb elements can absorb poison. Oh no, just acid. No poison. That's also an example. There's a lot of more spells. Beast sense, which I mean this would be really useful against you if you did that. Um that way your allies could fucking assist you, but it's like that doesn't matter that it's somatic if it's your allies though. Because like I mean there's like them being verbal doesn't matter. Catapult is somatic only. Well, it's not like they could target you with catapult. I'm still only in level 1 spells to be fair here. Like there's a lot of fucking somatic spells. Can I like organize it by components? Maybe? Is that a thing? Get what is this? I don't know what the hell this is about. This is annoying. Do I really need this whole index? Please no. Casting time. Really? There's no component section? That's dumb. What I find interesting though is I haven't seen a single one that's somatic and material but non-verbal, which seems weird. You would think that that would be a thing. Uh, some spells you need to target. A lot of spells you don't. For example, Burning Hands you don't need to target. Green Flame Blade. Yeah, Green Flame Blade is somatic and material but non-verbal. Pretty interesting. Hypnotic Pattern. To be fair, these are like level 3 spells at this point, so it's like, meh. Like at this point, like I doubt that the caster that you're using this on is going to have a 3rd level spell, you know. Ice Knife requires a target. This wouldn't. This would be really dangerous for you at that moment. But I also have never seen somebody with this spell. You create a twisting pattern, cutters weaves through the air, and blah blah. Each creature in the area who sees the pattern must save. Actually, nope. I lied because you can't see inside Fog Cloud, so it doesn't matter. Hypnotic Pattern doesn't work inside Fog Cloud. So, oh, what's this? Illusory script? Oh, fuck, that doesn't matter. Very few. Lots of verbal. Although it makes sense because I'm pretty sure like all bard spells are verbal. So like that's a huge section of the spell list that's all verbal. You know? I don't think there's a single somatic mental prison, but that's level 6. Mind Spike. But it has to be one creature you can see. So you can't use Mind Spike. Nope. You can minor illusion your ass though. I would definitely minor illusion your ass all day inside a fog cloud. In fact, this here, this is the counter to your fog cloud. Because I can make sensations, I can make sounds. Yeah. I'm gonna make you attack a random illusion. You wouldn't see me. It's somatic and material, so I would just make sounds to distract you. Like, you know what I mean? You would never know where I was. That's true. But you stop concentration and then you're just back to square one. You know? Mold Earth. I wouldn't really do anything. Yeah, minor illusion, because it's a cantrip too, so it's not even like they have to spend spell slots to do it, which is kind of nice. They'd also have to be smart enough to think of that. I don't think a goblin's like shaman would think something like that. Goblin shaman's probably too stupid. Is detect magic concentration? Because fog cloud is concentration. So detect magic wouldn't help you. Yeah. And you'd have to, yeah, you basically have to use detect magic after the fog cloud, which would interrupt fog cloud, which is no good. And if you're in spider form, you can't cast spells. You can only maintain concentration. Shape water doesn't help. It's lame. Yep. You only make constitution checks when you get hit. Or concentration. Which you use your constitution for, but yeah. Whenever you get attacked while concentrating, you have to roll, and it's I think it's what is it? 10 plus the damage, or no, it's 10 or the damage, whichever's higher. So if you took 9 damage, you would have to beat a DC 10. But if you took 12 damage, you have to beat a DC 12. But yeah. It's only when you take damage. Or no. God no. God, no. That's a horrible fucking rule. You are completely ruining casters if you do that. That's bad. Bad. Now, there's all kinds of things you can do to force a concentration check, but you cannot have a concentration every turn. That's a bit much. It's way too much. Like, that's no good. You know? But yeah, it's every time you get attacked, if you get knocked down, pushed, shoved, if you're distracted by something, if I did dancing lights in your face, I'd probably make you make a concentration check. If I tried to charm you, I would make you make a concentration check because you just had to use your mental fortitude to resist the charm, stuff like that. But I mean, that's still kind of like being attacked at the end of the day. It's, you're still being targeted by something. Resistant, not immune. That just means you're good at resisting. I'd still make you make a concentration check because you still had to resist. If you were immune, I wouldn't. Like if you had the mind shield ring, I'd probably be like, nah. Yeah, it's because of Fey ancestry. Fey ancestry on an elf gives you advantage on charm saves, and you can't be put to sleep by magic, or you can't be put to sleep. Period. If you're a full elf, half elves I think still have their charm resist. I think. I'm like curious about somatic spells now, and I'm just looking at somatic spells. Well, what else? So yeah, you've got Fey ancestry, which gives you resistant to charms. I just found the real counter. Motherfucking Thunderclap is somatic. Although, wait. To be fair, Thunderclap is also an extremely loud sound. so, so, and it's centered on the creature. So you can find them if they cast Thunderclap. Um. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, it is just a 5 feet around the caster. I thought it was longer than that. Weird. I thought it was way bigger than that. Oh, I'm thinking Thunder Wave. That's why. Thunder Clap is the cantrip. Okay. Which it'd still be super useful because, like I said, Thunderclap. If you're within melee, you're gonna get hit. You know. But also, yeah, Thunderclap is great. Thunderclap is badass because it's a cantrip. It's an AOE cantrip. To be fair, though, it's a con save, but it doesn't require a target. It's just each creature within range doesn't need a target. You blast that shit out, you know, and they have to make con saves or take the thunder damage. So I mean, a lot of creatures are going to resist that, but not necessarily all of them by any means. Like there's a lot of people with low con scores on the enemy side. Plus, the higher your DC, the better, of course. I mean, like if you're going more casty, then you're going to have a pretty decent spell DC. Oh, Thunderwave. Thunderwave is great. Thunderwave is a 15-foot. Where'd it go? Unseen Servant, Tsunami, True Strike, True Res, Transport, Transmute, Tongues, Troll the Dead, Tiny Servant, Time Stomp. Yeah, Thunderwave. So yeah, Thunderwave is a 15-foot cube. So basically, the thing about the 15-foot cube is it's like Hmm. That's just a 3x3. So it's just everything within 5 feet. Why didn't they just say everything within 5 feet? It's not everything within 15 feet of the caster. It's a 15-foot cube, which means it's a 5-foot spell. Yeah, that's just weirdly worded. It's basically Thunderclap, but bigger. Yeah, cubes do not. Okay, here's the difference. So a radius, if this commoner cast a radius spell, 15-foot radius. Oh, you're right. You're right. I didn't realize that. You're completely right. Oh shit. I have to explain that to my player. It's a 15-foot cube starting from you, not centered on you, right? Shit. Damn it. Originating, not centered. Not centered. No, no, no. You can put it on yourself and not get hit. Your allies will get hit, but you don't get hit by your own spell. Um, this, however, yeah. Well, actually, no, you're right. I guess if you did put it on yourself, you would, wouldn't you? Interesting. Interesting. Hmm. Definitely been using that wrong. Interesting. So yeah, it's like you pointed outwards. It's like a 3x3 little almost beam attack that you point outwards. It's interesting. I didn't even realize. There's a few spells I might have read wrong then. If it says originating from, I can't really think of what other spells say that, unless it's like a cone effect or something, you know? Hmm. But yeah, that seems to be basically it. It's like Thunder Wave, Thunderclap, Hypnotic Pattern, Ice Knife, Minor Illusion, and I can't remember the other one. Oh, Absorb Elements are all like the somatic spells, but there's not really other than that. It's just kind of it. I mean, don't be wrong. There's like other things you could use, but like, no, I definitely remember this being in the book because whenever you measure spells like that, you're like, there's a dice method that you can use, and I remember the way that they had it set up is they put 9 dice in front of the character's token, not on top of the character's token, and I just kind of like never associated that with Thunderclap like I should have, or Thunder Wave, not Thunderclap. Thunderclap is the one that's actually all the way around you. Thunder Wave is the one in front of you, so that makes sense. Because yeah, it would basically be like this. Like it could be like there, it could be here, it could be here. You could do it. You could get a little bit wonky with it and put that shit. Let me zoom in so I can actually click this fucking. What the hell? What? Stop zooming in on random sections. What are you doing? Damn it! Zoom in where my cursor is. You fucking bastard. All right. No. There we go. Shit. But yeah, like you could even offset it. Like you don't even need to have it like directly lined up. Like you could just put it like right there, right there. You know, it's actually a lot of interesting. Because like, let's say you have an ally standing here, but you still want to hit all the creatures here. Like you can be really specific with this. Yeah, as long as it's just connecting to your square, it's just literally this fucking cube you can just put somewhere. That's really strong. I didn't realize, and it also knocks them back. So it's like, mm, mm, mm. But yeah, but even if they did have verbal spells, you got to keep in mind like sometimes I mean these guys are gonna hit you because like giant spider health, it's not too high. Oh, wrong one. Giant. It's what 11, I think. No, it's 26. It's pretty good. It's not bad. Although Circle of the Moon, you can do CR1 creatures, right? I think Circle of the Moon's the only one who can do CR1 creatures that early. Yeah. Because Giant Wolf Spider would be an option if you weren't a Circle of the Moon. Because it's a CR1 4. And that's the one that has 11 HP. Yeah. So normal druids could do Giant Wolf Spider, which can do the same thing. To be fair, it's just not as strong. Um, but it is still pretty good, and you still have blind sense or blind sight out to 10 feet. So passive perception 13. Giant Spider's passive perception, I think, is only 10. Oof, gosh. Oh gosh, she sent me a wall of text. Hold on. Ugh. Hmm. Oi. Hey Edwin. You want to see why? Sorry, I was replying to my girlfriend was kind of having a violent moment with a neighbor. Like not her, but her downstairs neighbors were fighting, and she was kind of scared. So I was trying to make sure everything was okay. Um, because sky whales. In concept, sea elves who kind of patrol the oceans and protect the this island right here, which is kind of like a big elven sanctuary. Um, tame and ride leviathan creatures, which are these giant whales, and they fly. The elves being the big bads of my current campaign. So basically, the way it works is the elves of this planet or this world, this sphere, have united in like one cause, basically holding these four courts, summer, winter, autumn, and spring. Um, and more or less, they maintain the level of technology or magic on this world with massive elemental creatures. So to do that, they have to gather these ancient tablets that they lock away after doing that in order to, make sure nobody utilizes them for personal power and all that. They've decided that the humans have gotten too advanced and that they're going to wipe them humans out because they's too advanced. So they're gathering all the tablets, and these giant whales are just kind of like one of the great war machines that these elves use. Free the whales, free Willy. Honestly, I haven't decided. Like, I don't know whether or not this would be a servitude type relationship or more of a revered type relationship. Like, in my head, the elves aren't bad guys necessarily. Okay, well, I mean, some of them are, but like they're not like evil necessarily aligned. Like not all of them. And so I feel like the sea elves themselves would be more of a neutral force, kind of like a chaotic neutral vibe to them. And so I'm thinking, what if they kind of revered these whales as like demigod type creatures almost like what if they're like really important to them, and so like the people who sail aboard these whales are like super important, if that makes sense. Like to like be the captain of a leviathan is like the most honored thing for the sea elves, I imagine, you know. But I could also see the other inverse in the fact that these leviathans, while they might be respected, could still be kind of like slaves to the elves, depending on your perspective of it. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I should do both. Maybe in reality, like if you talk to the whale doesn't feel the same as the elves. Hmm. I don't know. My bad, Lars. What's up? What's the question? I didn't mean to rant and then miss your question. I don't know. Friendly whales or slave whales? What seems more like not endearing because that's not the word, but like what hits home a little bit harder for you? Like the idea of these great beasts that they're gonna have to fight being demigod type beings, or the concept of them just being enslaved beings. Oh no, that's exactly why the elves are doing this. To the elves, like they're thinking about the world's life. Like they're not thinking about the individual human, the individual elven life even, because their souls go from life to life. So even like their physical coils are nothing to them. And so the humans obviously care deeply about living and surviving. It's like the life is precious to them, but to the elves, it's like life is so small. But I imagine these leviathan creatures are extremely long lived. You know, and exactly, they see the humans as impetuous, short-sighted, greedy. And while I would say that the humans are industrious, progressive, um, aggressive in some ways, yeah, I don't necessarily think all of them fit that greed type thing. So it's kind of been this cool like conflict between basically the core conflict is nature versus civilization, really. Conscious during any trance, like conscious that you can hear stuff, and what I mean is their elven form of rest. Right, right. So the elven trance is interesting. I have to read it real quick now that I think about it because I think you are conscious. I don't think you go to sleep at all. Like I think you stay conscious when in your trance. Ba, ba, da, ba. Trance. Don't need to sleep. Instead, they meditate deeply, remaining semi conscious. Okay, semi conscious. Semi conscious. Let me think on that. Let me think on that. Dream after a fashion. Such dreams are actually mental exercises that have become reflexive through years of practice. After resting in this way, you can. Okay. Who? Since when did who become druids? The elves? Or. Um. Well, the elves have tons of druids inside their mix. Specifically, the Spring Court is like known for being the druids' court. So the Spring Court holds probably the most important druids in all of the world, not just aquatic, fungal, foresty, desert. They really are like the unification of natural powers. Um, but that though the elves also represent a lot more forces outside of just the classic druidic powers. Yep. Yep. The Wood Elves are very druidy. They're very, very druidy. However, there's also a lot of druids who completely disagree with the elves and actually hate the elves in a deep, deep way. The Furbolgs in my world are one of those races who have a deep, deep, long, long rivalry with the elves. So do the orcs. There's a lot of orc shamans who fall under the druid category who also deeply despise the elves, um, and they completely disagree with the way that they meddle with what they see as the true nature of the world and the progression of the world. The elves themselves are contradicting nature's course with what they've been doing. Is the way that most of the druids look at it. The elven druids see it as they're maintaining balance. Like they're doing the right thing. We're here to make sure that things don't go awry and ruin the world, while all the other druids in the world are kind of like, you're literally killing so much life every single time you do that. It's despicable. That type vibe. Elves, much grander scheme. Everybody else, yeah. Right, yeah. I think honestly, you would be able to get passive perception. I don't think you could make an active perception check So this is very important. I do not think you could make an active perception check. However, your passive perception should still be valid during a trance state. So if somebody stepped on a twig, let's say goblins try to sneak up on your camp, you got a passive perception of 14. Goblins only roll a 12 on their stealth. You're going to hear them approaching. You're going to come out of your trance and be able to alert people. But let's say those goblins rolled a 16. You're not going to get a chance to roll a perception check as if you were on watch because you are actively trancing. You know? I think that's really the way I view it, because it's the semi-conscious that gets me. Semi-conscious means you're passively conscious, but you're not actively conscious. So I don't think you can take actions, but all of your passive things I think would still be relevant. Passive perception is 10 plus your perception score. So for example, let's go to my PCs. Oh, not Giant Spider. Let's go to my boy Greycore. He's got the fat perception. His passive perception right down here. Never mind, he got the weak perception. Oh, that's right. He's got a sentinel shield that gives him advantage. That's why. But yeah, his passive perception is only 11 because his actual perception is only a 1. Yeah, and perception is wisdom. Yep. If you're proficient, it also adds your proficient. So you would have a passive perception of 15. Yep. Which I would say that 15 would be completely valid for detecting people sneaking up on you during a trance. Most definitely. Most definitely. Hey, Crafty Kaiju. How's it going? Howdy, howdy. How's your day going? Hope it's going well. We've actually completed our Flying Sky Whale, but it's been a good time. So this is an important question. Arcana is the knowledge of magic, the ability to decipher, detect, and identify magic. It's more of like an intelligence thing. It's like you're well learned in the ways of magic of all kinds. While insight is more of like your ability to detect lying, to gauge what kind of an emotional state somebody's in. You know, is this dude aggressive? Is this dude not aggressive? That type of feel, that's more insight. Insight's like you're utilizing your wisdom score for more of like an intuitive sense of somebody, sort of like how you would perceive information, but instead it's on like more of a subliminal level. Yeah. Yeah, so paladins have a special thing that's called sense evil, which they literally could like good will ring in their ears like heavenly chorus of music. You know, evil will kind of like sting their nose with a sulfuric, tang. Undead have a very specific scent to a paladin, that type of thing. So they've got like this really special sense for like good and evil and stuff like that. But it is different. But it is different. Yeah. So like their perception is like much more of like a very specific ability. It's like I know this. While perception is just like your ability to detect things with your senses, and insight is just your ability to like detect how somebody's vibing. It mentions that races that sleep have disadvantage on perception when sleeping, and that elves and warforged and other creatures that only truly sleep do not have disadvantage. I just don't usually let my players roll when they're sleeping. I usually just use their passive perception at the most. And even then, a lot of the times I don't. It would really depend. Because to me, whenever I think about somebody like using a skill or like an action, it's like it's a very active, intense thing. So it's like if I was gonna roll perception while walking through the woods, it's like I'm like head on a swivel, scanning the horizon. My ears are fucking pointed. I'm good to go. Like fucking wah wah, right? But if I'm more like doing my passive thing, it's like I'm just strolling. I'm just big chill. And like so, a druid who's like naturally very aware of the surroundings, just big chill and walking through the forest, would recognize a stealth check of a 14 pretty easily, while the warrior or the fighter, who maybe not is the wisest person, doesn't really pay attention all that much, only got a perception of 11, didn't see the goblin. That type vibe. What kind of project are you working on, Kaiju? The Goose Fraba. Goose Fraba is for whenever I get really fucking salty. It's a goofy word. It's actually from the movie. Have you ever seen the movie Anger Management with Adam Sandler? It's basically just an inside joke on the fact that I get really salty when I play some games, and it's primarily PTSD related. A lot of times if I'm playing like a horror game or something like that, I'll get a feeling of like helplessness, and it sends me over the moon. But yeah, Goose Fraba is just like a funny, goofy word. Like you can't say the word Goose Fraba repeatedly without smiling. It's impossible to be angry and say Goose Fraba repeatedly. You can't do it. So if I'm ever really pissed, that's like a redeem for the like, hey buddy, it's okay. You'll be okay type thing. Um Cyberpunk LARP. Hey. Hey, but I'm not salty, Lars. I'm already calm. We have 31 days until our next event. Ooh, first event. Sheesh, sheesh. How many people you got in the event so far? And what kind of? Ooh, yeah. I'm kind of curious. What are you using for your LARP stuff? You know, are you doing more theater of the mind type interactions in person, or are you gonna like nerf dart it up? Oh yeah, the Goose Fraba, Goose Fraba. Like, it feels so weird to say it in a row. I hate saying it. Yeah, go grab it. Check more than rules. Check which spells are originate from instead of fucking uh like I thought centered on. Because there's got to be more than just Thunderwave, right? It's got to be. Thinking about the sleep rules, disadvantage on perception. Disadvantage on perception. Huh? What this? This is just literally all of my shit. Oh, you did you? No, that's not what it read. That's not what it said. No. But yeah, no, I just got all my things in here. A bunch of interesting boys. Um, I wonder if I got any of the more interest. What are the more interesting creatures I've put together? Mm. What does it say? Peninsula. Oh. Did you think it said peninsula? Peen. Let me see. Faye. The Minotaur's okay. Oh, actually, you know who my favorite fucking thing I've made yet so far was the last boss fight that they went through. This guy, the Elemental Colossus. So he's based on a Warforged Titan, right? Except he's got 4 elemental states that he would cycle through, and it was really sweet. 35 people are signed up so far. It would be great to get another 35. We're using Nerf. Hell yeah, I figured it'd be something like that. Rented an indoor airsoft arena that we'll be decorating. It's tight. Smartphone app. Oh, that's cool. That's fucking awesome. The smartphone app is genius. It's scanning QR codes. Oh, that's sick. I don't think so. I don't think you mentioned any plot twists. That's so genius. The QR code thing is so fucking smart. Oh man, that's big. That's big brain. That's so good, dude. Damn, that's fire. But yeah, so basically you had like a rotary cannon, and the cannon would do different things depending on the state. Like aquatic state would be like frozen rounds. You had storm state, which would like have like an arcing lightning effect whenever it hit players. The earth state would like knock players onto the ground, and then fire state was just a burning projectile. But it was sweet, you know. It was good shit. And what's cool is I'll just drop him over here so you can see him. So like this is what he looked like, but he's a multi-sided token. So for the different states, I could actually like switch his, like switch his state into the different modes and stuff like that. You see what I mean? Like you got like aquatic state, fucking lightning state, earth state, which is like the general like beginning state, and then you got fire state. It was a sweet ass boss fight. I really enjoyed it. Yeah, no, that's really smart. I think it'll be good. I think you guys are putting enough thought into it that it should be good as long as you make sure that the systems are good enough. like whenever you're doing things and it doesn't get all wonky and the biggest thing I've ever seen LARPs fail on is player disputes. And it's not usually the event holder's issue. It's usually like you'll get somebody who comes in to be a part of your LARP who's just really toxic, has a lot of trouble accepting outcomes, is kind of a sort of loser. So like as long as you can manage players like that, or if you're, you know, cross enough to it, make some rules that like arguing with GMs is, like maybe like a 2 strike or 3 strike method to where like you'll get kicked from the LARP if you repeatedly dispute problems without reason. It's like I'm not, because I don't want players to feel like they can't be like, oh, this is why I disagree with that, but like you know what I'm talking about. Players who can't take final rulings. Like if a GM says final ruling, this is the way we're going, that's just the way you got to take it. Yeah, because as long as you're on your standards as far as like policy goes, you'll be good. You'll be good. Yeah, because that's the only thing I've ever seen really ruin a LARP is it's really player side, and it's not necessarily that I mean, the player is being awful, but the where it really falls apart is yeah, whenever the people running the LARP don't handle that player. So as long as you're handling players like that, you'll be totally fine. Like, because that's the thing is people who show up to LARP are showing up to have a good time. They're not showing up to just be assholes. Like they're showing up to participate, immerse themselves, engage. So like as long as you've got that stuff set up, they're going to engage. They're going to have fun. They're going to talk to each other. It's going to be sweet. They're going to shoot each other with Nerf guns and laugh. You know. So I think you've got a great idea. Honestly, that's fucking tight. I'm kind of jealous. I'll be fucking honest. I'm not really a LARP person, but that sounds so fucking cool. Oh, that's genius. That's good. Mm. Yeah, and I don't disagree. Yeah, exactly. I don't disagree with players, and especially in my own games. Like, I want players to bring up disputes. I want players not to argue with me, but I want them to um feel comfortable being like, "Hey, I feel like this could be done differently," or I feel like the game would be more enjoyable if we did this, or I don't really like the way that this ruling plays out. Can we discuss it? Like, even in game, I'm okay with them bringing it up. I prefer it after the game, but sometimes it's like I'm a really forgetful person, so it's really hard for me to like come up with something and then be like, oh, I gotta bring that up at the end of the game. It's like I'm gonna forget after things get exciting and we have a good time after the game and we're shit talking about stuff. It's like I'm gonna completely forget to bring it up. So I don't mind them when they bring it up immediately, as long as they don't become disruptive about it. Yeah, definitely can't be in Northern California by December 3rd, unfortunately. That is outside of me reach. It'd be cool though. Find a mimic. And after you defeat it, the DM will say, after defeating the mimic, you see that inside there was enough weapons for the whole party. Oh, okay. A whole party. Weapons the players are proficient with. Do you want to grab them? If they say yes, after grabbing the weapon, you get a strange but good feeling. And if they also do a perception check and get 10 or higher, they will see strange text on the handle but can't read it. When they use it on an enemy, the enemy just disappears. Oh, yeah, I think I know what you're talking about. I've seen that. That's a funny thing. That's just hilarious. The fucking magic easy way out punishing weapons. Yeah, exactly. That type thing. Uh That's all right. It's better to. All right. Yeah, grab the handbook. Um, let me see here. What else do I really need? I mean, okay, freaking. The problem is a lot of this stuff is like this next session is a lot of role play stuff, so it's not even like there's a whole lot to prep. Now, I mean, obviously there's like role play stuff to prep, but usually the way I prep role play is not a very physical process, if that makes sense. It's a lot more just like mental gymnastics. Um, in which I just think about the characters, what they're doing, why they would do it, and then I usually set up like you know backdrop areas that the characters would meet. So I don't really like to necessarily like have a battle map for role play. So like for example, like this is what I pull out when they're hanging out in the dungeons, right? We It's just a backdrop. It's just chill. It's nice. It's simple. It's like okay, cool, yeah, bet. Like I get the vibe, right? Um, that type shit. And then same thing like Orc Capital City. So the Orc Capital City, like they had this big outpost on top in the desert, but underneath it was this massive cave structure that like really showed like the actual home of the orcs and stuff that they got to see. And so that was this, right? And yeah, like stuff like that. It's really useful. The tavern, like this is Jane's Holdout, which is a tavern that they utilize. That type of stuff. All right, all right, all right. But yeah, I'm really excited. Unfortunately, this isn't one of the games that I stream, because this is like the private game. I do stream games, and I'm gonna be setting up an adventure league. I don't know if you guys know. I mean, I figured people who play D&D know what adventure league is, and I'm gonna say adventure league because that's the easy way to say it. What I'm really doing is a West Marches game, which a West Marches game is basically like a small community of players who agree to all join in on basically a congruent campaign. So rather than an adventure league where it's like everybody's in an adventure league, you have your character, you register it, and then you go on whatever campaigns that DMs are running. This is more so we're all focused on this one type of game, this big, grandiose campaign setting. And then you can schedule your sessions on a week to week basis. So 1 week real life time will be 1 week in game time. And the way I'm going to have it set up is if you make a character, you can play in one session a week, only one session a week, because every adventure that you go on or every little session you go on might take up to a week of in game time. Therefore, only one session a week fits. But I'm hoping to get my goal is to get around 15 to 20 players to get into that, have a real vibe, have a good time. But I'm really excited because that's a whole different setting that I'm working on, and I can actually show you that because I'm already kind of done with this my Peninsula Sans Accord here prep, but this is a project that I'm currently tossing around and I'm setting up for that big community game. So it's very Spelljammer, but a little bit further into the future. So it's a very weird conceptual game. Let me make sure that this is actually the page. Oh, this is the wrong one. Oh no, this is it. This is it. So yeah, so I've got a bunch of these solar systems set up. So the way that this world works, let's put a little ambience in here. Do I have a playlist? No. Actually, hold on. Manage audio. Add to game. Bam. Oh wait, no, not shuffle. Anyway, so there's all these solar systems, right? That'd be fun. A full lycanthrope game would be really cool, especially if they have to hide it. Like if it's like there are like lycanthropes in a setting that there are lycanthrope hunters, and maybe even like the whole vampire conflict mix in there, give them like type that underworld vibe. But just in general, threats to lycanthropes would be cool. That'd be sweet shit for real. But this conceptually, the plot of this is The grand cosmos, the grand contract that keeps the world and physics reason, the gods in check, and it keeps the abyss in the abyss and hell in hell, was disrupted. An imp, an imp that intentionally maintained its status as an imp throughout a very long time, manipulating countless individuals, slowly worked their way across the multiverse in order to disrupt the contract itself. They, through fuckery, destroyed the contract that keeps the universe together. Um, and so what happened was the gods fought. I mean, like shit went crazy. The borders between planes just dissipated. Heavens collided. I mean, shit got whack nuts. And so Bahamut and Tiamat freaked out. They were like, "Oh shit! Everything that we've been working for is going to crumble." And in the most unexpected turn of events, they united. Tiamat and Bahamut becoming not one entity, but a partnership of godhood that they then went and created their own small solar systems and a small pocket of world to hide away in order to maintain reality and civilization. They utilized the help of all of their draconic kin and children to gather up mortal races in an ark-like voyage to these places, utilizing their draconic magic and things and primordial elemental magic to create these multiple solar systems, 11 in total. They then populated the individual solar systems with the different races of the mortal worlds and gave fealty to the dragon flights. Now, this worked for a while until, of course, metallic dragon and chromatic dragon could no longer coexist. A great civil war broke out between the solar systems. Dragons fighting in space, ships and mortals being utilized as fodder in their eternal war against each other. Champions of mortality rose to power in this, and they utilized this war as a way to kind of get their own fame up and get the respect of the dragons, to get the respect of Bahamut and Tiamat themselves. And during a great conflict in which Bahamut and Tiamat were summoned into the true plane, the materia, with one perfect ritual, this adventuring party exploited a wish and wished Bahamut and Tiamat out of existence forever, destroying them, literally destroying many of the things they created, and most importantly, removing the power of draconic magic from the dragons, turning them into dragonborn. So the dragons, no longer capable of taking on draconic forms at all, became humanoid, weak, and mortal. The setting that I'm going to be playing or setting up for this community game starts then. It's literally going to start during the beginning of the Mortal Rebellion, in the middle of the Chromatic Metallic Civil War, right after all of the dragons have turned mortal and the power balance has been completely thrown into chaos. It's going to be nuts. But there's literally 11 solar systems that they like gave to the individual races. So you have an orcish expanse, you have a human expanse, you have the dwarven solar system. You know, like let's just actually it's gonna be called expanses. But you have the elvish expanse, right? You've got the gnomish expanse, and then on the other side of it, which I haven't fully finished them, I'm working on them. You're gonna have chromatic dragon expanse. You know, you're gonna have like all kinds of things. So the druids are interesting because there's druids on all kinds of worlds. There's tons of worlds, right? And druids exist in all kinds of cultures. There's human druids. The furbolgs dwell on a moon inside of the human solar system. You have the drow. The drow themselves have actually become a deeply druidic culture now who worship a great egg in space. So it's kind of like the Starfinder, in which they literally have this big ancient bug-like being that they tend to, and they've basically become arachnid druids that they manipulate the genome of insects in order to fit roles that they need. So if they need a spaceship, it's a living spaceship. It's a huge space egg that it itself is a brood mother for basically the Zerg. Although the Zerg, they're not quite as like disruptive and crazy as the Zerg. They're much more docile and kind of cute. But yeah, it's like really cool. And fucking the gnomish people have been harvesting and studying like antimatter and like negative gravitational forces and stuff like that to create like gravity weapons and black holes and stuff. The dwarves are actively trying to build a Dyson sphere by mining the entirety of planets out. So they're literally like harvesting the planets inside their solar system to create a functional Dyson sphere around their sun to harvest solar energy. The elves are a little bit more like tame, but they don't really use technology to move around. So like much like the drow have living ships, the other druidic wood elves, they have living ships made of like large plants and rock that float through space. You know, you have thanks for the gifted stuff. My dog appreciates it. They basically float around these huge rocks that are like forests, you know, like big forest ships. And then you have the high elves who utilize this ancient bone weaving techniques and stuff, sort of like the Eldar in 40k, kind of inspired by their construction. I kind of had the high elves do something similar, except not quite as like weirdly mystical. It's more of a science. The humans are kind of crude and pretty normal though. I mean, like they basically have. So the humans are interesting because the giants were enslaved and put into the human solar system, and so giants and human culture has become very interwoven. Giants being seen as like as great figures to the humans and great protectors of the humans because they've always kind of been there to assist and keep the humans from being exploited too heavily. And so the giants are like this huge, revered, almost religious force in the human solar system. You have the orcish solar system, which is home to not only orcs but like goblins, hobgoblins, bugbears, and stuff like that. And they're right on the precipice of combustion engines. So currently, like steam technology is kind of the vibe. Think like early, like late like 1800s into early World War I type technology, and they orcs are the ones who are about to bust out tanks. Like they're about to create the combustion engine. They're about to literally start like putting like anti-infantry tanks on the field. It's gonna get way crazy. Yeah, it's true. I don't know what the hell these gnomes are doing. This cat's anti-grav. The problem with anti-gravity is you can't crush a spaceship with it. So if you could crush a spaceship with it, it'd be a vibe. But I do unfortunately have to get going here in a little bit. But yeah, honestly, I'm pumped to start the session or this adventure right here, these stuff, because it's a session I've done things in before, but only small adventures. So like to really get to use this project to its full thing, yeah. Um, I am building a world anvil page for this. So what I've been doing is kind of like slowly working my way towards getting a full functional world anvil so that I can just post that to people and be like, yeah, man, like look, this is the type of session or this is the type of campaign I'm wanting to run for you. And it's gonna have all kinds of things, you know, it's gonna have literally every solar system, every planet. Now here's the thing. While yeah, exactly. Just crush it with vinegar. Has fine. It's fine. Just plant a tree on it. Just plant a tree on the ship. Just plant the tree on the ship. You're fine. Just plant a tree. It's fine. It'll die. It'll be great. Um, but while I do have a concept of like the climate of all my planets and stuff like that, and how the solar systems kind of function, what I'm really excited for is because these planets have so much to them. I really, really want the players to feel comfortable coming up with their own backstory, where they came from, what that place is like, what type of people live there. You know, I want them to feel free creating their own cultures because this is such a grand setting. I really, really want the players to feel like they're a part of the process of creating this world in a way. So that's one of the biggest things I'm excited about is to start getting players into the setting and start to hear the players' ideas for what they would like to see. You know, because that's some cool shit to me. Like the coolest part of D&D to me has never been I get to share my story with you. It's always been I get to enjoy your story as it unfolds because I'm not the one writing the story. I'm writing a setting. You guys decide what the hell happens. So it's like I don't know what the fuck's gonna happen. It's me. I'm reading a book. You know, I don't know what's gonna happen next. I don't have any spoilers. You know, I know what the characters want to do. I know what the characters' intentions are, just like I would in a book. But I don't know if they're going to succeed. I don't know if they're going to get there. And I think that's like the most exciting thing about being a DM is nobody can create the exact mind of somebody else. I can't predict players, you know? And it's fantastic, really, because that's like it's so cool to like listen to their ideas and their perspectives and the way that they act as this character rather than the way I would act as that character, you know? So that's like the fucking the creme de la creme of DMing right there. Let's see. But yeah, I think I'm gonna call it. I'm gonna go ahead and I'll be back later tonight. So I know it's I mean it's 11 a.m. here, and I'm probably gonna be back on at like midnight. But true. Although that is kind of a cool thing. If your ship is made out of trees and you can tree stride, does that mean you can tree stride between ships? I'd have to think about that. Or would it have to be planet based? Hmm. But either way, I'll be back tonight. I'm gonna do some more prep. I'm gonna finish up a little bit of prep on the Peninsula Sans Accord setting, and then I think I'm gonna dive into the World Anvil and stuff for this setting and start really getting into it. Well, I mean, it might be only trees, but I mean, even then, it just makes me think like, do the trees need to be connected on the same planet? You know, bind planets? No, because a planet isn't a creature. How does bind work? Oh, hold on, let me look it up. Do you mean Earth bind? Yeah, it's one creature. That would be cool though. Although, no spoilers, but I will say 10th level spells exist in the setting. So, yes. The answer is yes. What's planar binding do? 5th level. Attempt to bind a celestial, an elemental, a fae, or a fiend to your service. The creature must be within range. At the completion of the casting, the target must make a charisma saving throw. On a failed save, it is bound to serve you for the duration, 24 hours. If the creature was summoned or created by another spell, that spell's duration is extended. What? That's fucking busted. What the fuck? A bound creature must follow your instructions to the best of its ability. You might command the creature to accompany you on an adventure, to guard a location, or deliver a message. The creature obeys, blah, 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 blah. What the fuck? Yeah, you can summon an angel and then you can planar bind it so that it lasts 24 hours. But that's the thing, is if you use summon fiend, or I mean summon elemental, and then you cast that, you have a minion for 24. You have a whole day worth of minion. You can just cast that at the beginning of the day every day. That's fucked. That's crazy. Anyway, I am gonna go, but I appreciate y'all chilling, and I will be back later tonight. So have a good one. Thank y'all.